Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be an updated homeschool room tour. Not much has changed since the first one I posted 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. But yeah, we do have a few things that have changed, but not much has changed. So let's get started. Okay, so to start off, our chalkboard, obviously nothing is on it yet. The chair that I sit in when I work with the kids sometimes. And then we have, I let the boys pick and they decided, oop, the glare's terrible, to pick a Super Mario clock. So we have one of those down here. These are just some music posters that I made. Our laptop, and then up here you can see the sheet protectors. This is usually where I put our artist picture studies for the semester. Down here we just have our globe. I do use this whiteboard, but for now it's tucked into the corner. This is our little... that's obnoxious. Our answer buzzer. This is our supply of the old, or what's left over from the old homeschool supplies. And then this is just the boys. They have new ones for this year. That obviously they're not allowed to touch till we start school, which is why I have it tucked up there. But yeah, so these are just their new school supplies for the year. This is just our favorite record, so I have it here ready to go. Paper towels, obviously. And then I have our library return book bag hanging from here. And then we just have some posters on the wall. So we have the planets, the globe. So I made these two here in Canva, the Spanish ones. These two I got from, this one was from an Arabic workbook, and then this one's pretty sure it's from Google. These two we bought from Etsy, so it's the United States and then Illinois, since that's where we live. And then these here are just some English, language arts, whatever you want to call them, posters that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers. So when they're spelling CBC words, it just helps them realize if it's AOU, then it's a C, and if it's I or E, then it's a K. And then English words don't end in the letters I, V, U, or J. Sight words. These were actually a 2-pack at Michael's, and I got them for 50 cents, which I thought wasn't terrible. So here, we just got the periodic table of elements. Obviously, my kids are too young to be worried about the periodic table of elements. However, for 50 cents, I just couldn't pass up the deal. So I got that one. And we briefly went over the scientific method last year, and we'll be continuing it this year. So I added those two to the wall. And I know I don't have to have posters on the wall. However, I hate the way our walls look. So I'm decorating them. Then up here we have a subscription. I'll put the name on the screen because I can't remember off the top of my head. Since we don't have anything going on down here during the summer, we just have their animals up there for now. But during the school year, we'll put whatever like pictures they're drawing or maps they're writing or anything like that we'll have up here. But for now, like I said, it's our animals. And then here is where all the fun is. So we have 3 baskets this year. Last year we only had 2. But we have a lot more going on. So this basket is for our weekly library books. So our math book, our Spanish books, different things like that. Books that we're only reading for the week are going to be over here in this guy. Okay, this one is also a weekly one. However, it's so big that it didn't fit anywhere else. I just put it on the little easel that we had. I actually got these easels from the Target of last year. But yeah, they're actually made for art, but I use them for books, and I think it works pretty well. This is our history textbook, and then in here are all of our spines for the year. So we have a lot of them this year. Most of them were purchased on thrift books. However, I did get some from the library, like this guy right here. But yeah, so this is our spine basket. And this right here is our morning basket. So I'll make a separate video talking about everything that we do in the morning basket, but it's our read aloud, our word of the day, our poetry, our 2 Spanish books, another read aloud, our nature study, and the boys' body book for the boys. Okay, and then down here, so this is where all of our curriculum is. So I have all of this. The only thing that's missing is the science that I haven't printed yet. I'm going to be printing it out this weekend, only because it was 200 pages and I was procrastinating. But yeah, so I'll add that down here. Some of this is like this stuff, and kindergarten is previous curriculum, but I just left it all on here. But this is all of my books that I need. And then down here is just their sketchbooks and some extra paper. Here is my first grader's basket, so all of his individual books that he needs, workbooks, all of that jazz are right here in this basket, and he knows it's his. Here are all of our math manipulatives. It's kind of a mess. I need to organize it, but this is where all of our math stuff goes. Here is the Play-Doh. We recently just got this from the thrift store, and it has a bunch of like rolling pins and scissors and pizza cutters and stuff like that made for Play-Doh. So this is our Play-Doh bin. And then this is our just extra bin, I guess you could say. So for Logic of English, they have a bunch of readers and then 2 other books as well. So I just put them in here so that way when we need them, they're easy access. And then we're going to be doing a lot of vocabulary this year, so I'm probably going to have to get a bigger one, but for now, I got one of these guys just to have in here as well. Down here is their old binders and my laminator. And then up here is my second grader's bin, so all of his stuff, his individual workbooks, all of that jazz are going to be in here as well. Moving on over, we have a 100 chart there. And this is basically our art supply bin. So paint, pipe cleaners, anything art-ish is in this little caddy here. Again, I should probably organize it this weekend before school starts, but that's where we keep all of our art supplies. Moving over, nothing fancy. This is just our table. Our table, our carpet. And then over here, sometimes I get tired of sitting in that chair, so I'll finish read alouds in here. So I'll sit in the rocking chair. Sometimes they'll sit on the carpet. If not, they'll be over there. But yeah, so there's a little rocking chair here. Moving over is what we call like our mini reading corner, I guess you could say. So we have some bean bags that are much more loved now than they were when I first made this video. And also our bookshelf is so much more filled now. If you guys watched my very first homeschool room tour, our bookshelf had like 5 books on it. It was so depressing. But yeah, we've got lots and lots of new goodies now, thanks to the thrift store. But yeah, we're filling up nicely, which I'd love to see. I need to find a way to organize it so it's not just, you know, books thrown on a shelf. But for now, there's that. These I made myself in Canva. So I just took different quotes from different books and turned them into little posters. Like I said, just because I don't like the way the walls look, so I wanted to make it cute. So there's that. And then of course our couch with all of our pillows. And then here's like the kids' play area. Obviously you see their toy bin and their little tent that's deflated, not deflated, folded up right now. And then my son's guitar and my oldest son's guitar, my younger son's recorder. I was gonna say flute, but it's definitely not a flute. And then we have other instruments on there as well. And then this is like if they make any like block or Lego creations and wanna keep them on display, that's what they use that for. But yeah, that is about it. This is our little homeschooling room. That's my husband's punching bag. But yeah, this is our little homeschooling room. And that's it, guys, for a homeschool room tour. We've really grown into this space, and I love how far along we've gotten. If I had a picture from what this basement looked like when I started trying to transform it, you guys would be amazed. So it's definitely come a long way. It's one of our favorite places in the house. And I'm very excited to start our new homeschooling season. Good luck to all of you mamas out there that are homeschooling this year, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.